The Altbach Technology Forum has become the most important event in Austria for science and technology.
Our overall target is to deal with the problem of Europe's strengths and weaknesses and to show paths to the future. And from this interplay, the Technology Forum's task is to go into determining locational factors for Europe.
More than 120 speakers from 15 countries, including scientists and researchers, come to meet not only for scientific discussions, but also to enjoy the place and the atmosphere.
I think it is a very fruitful meeting, where problems are touched on, but mainly it is an event to meet people.
The future generation discusses and decides on its own future.
For me, the fascinating thing about Altbach is this mixture. I mean, the mixture of disciplines as well as of people. Representatives from the economy, the sciences, politics and young people come together to talk during the day and to celebrate at night.
And discusses during the daytime the question, do we face a global shift in work and research?
It is much more about being able to find the right kind of person. Than so much of a cost issue. So if we can find the right set of skills today, and if they happen to be in Bangalore, we'd like to use them. And if they happen, because there are many people in Bangalore who don't want to move to New York, or the people who are happy being there, or like we heard today, some people who want to go back to these countries. So it's really a question of having the people in the right places and having access to the people.
Krishna Nathan shows the way. Knowledge is the future, and it can be found everywhere in the world. Or R.A. Mashalkar. He grew up poor. Today he's responsible for 25,000 scientists in India.
Well, I do believe that 21st century is the century of knowledge. And an ability to create knowledge, disseminate it, and most importantly to convert it into economic wealth and social good is going to determine the destiny of societies as well as nations. Let's not forget that 50% of the GDP of OECD countries comes directly or indirectly due to production, distribution and valorization of knowledge.
I dare say that this may be the only audience meeting in all of Europe today whose intelligence quotient, that is, whose IQ exceeds its cholesterol level.
Knowing the cholesterol level is necessary for the physician, and politicians too should know their facts. Frank Press talks from his own experience.
Scientists need politicians to support their work and to do so in a democratic fashion and to understand what their contribution is likely to be. And politicians have many decisions, so they might as well have all of the information they need to make a proper decision. And in most of these decisions, they're technical, and the scientists should be called upon to offer their technical evaluation, and then the politician can make the proper decision accountable to the public.
The workshops meet in the local high school, back to school even for Nobel laureates. The aim of these workshops is to provide facts for the political decision makers, especially in Europe.
Es gibt in den Nachbarländern im Osten.
Our neighbouring countries to the east still have a large number of very talented young people. Austria would be well advised to open up to these people and to create a larger research community for them.
Weise zu öffnen und diese jungen Menschen eben hier auch einen größeren Forschungsverbund zu schaffen.
Well, I think one of the most exciting results that I'm looking forward to is the detection of planets outside the solar system that are closer and closer to the sorts of planet that we live on, and I think that's going to come within the next 10 years. And of course the most wonderful discovery of all would be a detection of any sort of life on those planets. That's what I'm hoping for before I die.
Sometime in 2020, 2030, 2040, there will be a time when these hybrid cars will be available in really large numbers. And then you can say, this will probably be the turning point. People always talk about dangers. This is a feeling that is very pronounced. In the case of nanotubes, we talk about there being a danger, just like asbestos. In my opinion, there is no new danger. If we adhere to the guidelines we've applied so far, we actually know which risks we will have to face. Almost everything is connected with risks, but I don't see new ones. Some science fiction films show robots going off on their own and controlling people. Well, I think this is completely mad. I don't see any danger coming from this side. Rather, we have got our problems in understanding nature. The key word, converging technologies, describes the fact that we have a huge number of components, so-called building blocks. Communication technologies, software systems, IT technologies, new kinds of end devices. The big question for us as a society is, do we presently use these possibilities to our advantage, or do we condemn them from the start and not begin to use them and thus miss an important chance?
Now we're thinking about the future as being a place where place becomes much more important, where we spend time trying to design the systems that we use so as to make going to work more effective, more worthwhile when you're at work, not when you're away from work, and to design technologies for the home that don't let you bring work home, but let you do whatever it is you want to do at home better, richer, more satisfying. So we're interested in making the future a place where you are matters more.
The future is Junior Alpbach. How can we create interest and excitement in the next generation for science and new technologies? I think Alpbach would be very suitable for young Europeans. Here they could discuss the widest range of topics that not only affect Europe, but also the whole world, such as health and economic problems, just as they've done before, but going even further. I also think it would be a good idea to involve the East, the West, the North and the South.
Den Osten wie den Westen, den Norden und den Süden einzubauen.
Hildegunda Pisa is a world-class surgeon in the field of vascular surgery. In her work she concentrates on correcting deformations of the hand in young children. With the hand you don't only hold things but also grasp things. A young girl whose hand had been deformed since birth shows the opportunities offered by surgical improvements. I had a deformed thumb and couldn't hold anything with it. I could only move it in one direction and only bend it once and nothing more. This used to be my index finger. You can see here that it looks exactly like the one on the left hand. Together with the bones and blood vessels, it was moved to this position. Sarah can now hold, grasp and feel again with her hand. Chicken wings revisited. By connecting blood vessels, nerves and ligaments, an interest in science comes naturally. Scientists make science interesting, and some of the scientists even become role models for the participants of Junior Alpbach. What I will take away with me is the positive attitude of the people, and I've seen what I could do myself, the chances and opportunities there are, in medicine for example. I have to stitch together 3 threads here. Security has many faces, for example a bird flu pandemic, energy and communication. This panel shows the significance of a multidisciplinary approach that embodies the idea of the Alpbach Technology Forum.
The typical way into it's getting into human is through the pork. Typically, the human virus will go into the pork, as sometimes the avian virus will go also into the pork, and that will create a very good incubator for adaptation of the virus and then spread to human.
I think it's very important that on the social side, people be very prepared, don't panic, get the right information with the right accuracy. I think that's very important too.
Alpbach, a place to recharge batteries, to discuss and to learn. See you again in 2006 from August the 24th to August the 26th.